You're welcome to Joy Research Blog, your one-stop blog for in-depth analysis on political issues in Nigeria and Africa and across the globe. Today we'll be discussing something that's become a thorn in the flesh of Nigeria as a nation, that is corruption. In 2003, the government of then President Olusegun Obasanjo established the EFCC, the Economic Financial Crisis Commission, and the ICPC, which is the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, to tackle what has become endemic in Nigeria, which is corruption. Over the years, we've seen the fight of corruption, and then in local parlance, we've said corruption is fighting back. And up until now, corruption is still very much prevalent in every area, every sector of life as far as Nigerian state is concerned. And one pertinent question that we want to ask today is Nigeria really fighting corruption? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Joy Research Blog. You can also follow our WhatsApp channel, Joy Research Blog, on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. Now let's focus our attention on the fight against corruption. Recently, a few days ago, it went viral in social media and other news platform that the Zambian finance minister resigned after he was caught on camera accepting money from a contractor or thereabout. Now, that is morality at play and sense of responsibility, fighting corruption. You have to resign from office. Now let's take a look at that and then take a look at what you have in Nigeria. In Nigeria, the fight against corruption, we've had different public office holders having been alleged to have been corrupt, even with overwhelming evidence. But how much of these people have faced the wrath of the law? Now, sometimes what we do in Nigeria is just media trial. Opponents using the instrument of the state, the EFCC and the ICPC, to witch hunt political opponents. But oftentimes we've seen public officers, governors, senators, ministers being arrested for corruption allegations. But you find the same people still in government. That means corruption, it's mere rhetorics as far as the Nigerian state is concerned. Corruption is just something that exists only on the pages of newspaper. Now let's look at some public officers who have been alleged to have been involved in corruption. They've been caught on camera, there are overwhelming evidence, they've been taken to court, but they still hold very high public offices today. How is that even possible? For example, the current chairman of the All Progressive Congress was also caught on camera in the celebrated case of corruption. Just like the Zambian finance minister, he went on to do second term in office and is now the chairman of the national chairman of the ruling party. Would you say Nigeria is really fighting corruption? We have the current Senate president has been alleged to have enriched himself, right, from his time as governor, minister of Niger Delta, but as to speak is the number 3 man of the current administration. Would you say the Nigerian government is fighting corruption? And then we have people like the current chief whip, or you can say the Senator Orji Uzor-Kalu, former governor of Abia State, who was after the prolonged case of corruption, was finally indicted, was finally sent to jail. And in the twist of fate and in the technicality that Nigerians are still yet to understand, he was granted, someone who has been convicted, was granted bail by the Supreme Court. He went back to the Senate, making laws for Nigeria. Do you think Nigeria is still fighting corruption? We have former accountant general under the last administration alleged to have misappropriated or stolen billions and billions of naira. As we speak, he was only held for a few days. As we speak, the issue is dead. Do you think Nigeria is still fighting corruption? We have even Minister of State, the current Minister of State for Defense, who was the immediate past governor of Zamfara State, was alleged to have misappropriated funds, even giving money, public funds to bandits, went away with lots of cars. He had to take the court ruling to get him to return all of these, and now he's holding sway as Minister of State for Defense. Do you think Nigeria is still fighting corruption? If you look at the former chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Ibrahim Magu, who was inducted by a panel, a high-powered panel for corruption, is still there, not serving any term. If you talk about the former chief of army staff, the list is endless. These people still hold public offices, and they're still within the circle of the ruling class. Now, would you say Nigeria is fighting corruption? Because it appears the fight against corruption, aside the fact that it only exists on paper, the fight against corruption based on public or politically exposed persons only exists on paper. The fight against corruption is mainly for the small fries, what we call the Yahoo boys, in as much as it is against the law. But I think the government needs to do more, because the public officers who have misappropriated or alleged to have stolen funds that are meant for roads, hospitals, public infrastructure, these people just get away with it, and they're still holding sway in government. So what do you think? Do you think Nigeria is really fighting corruption? Now, some public officers have even provided security details, and very, 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 very funny. Now, according to Transparency International, Nigeria is ranked 150 out of 180 countries in 2022. Now, corruption rank in Nigeria averaged 125.67 from 1996 until 2002, reaching an all-time high of 154 in 2021 and a record low of 52 in 1997. Now, corruption is not just in the public office. Now, you ask yourself, how did Transparency International come up with such figures? Now, based on the figures from Transparency International, corruption is not just in the public office. Corruption runs through every level of the Nigerian state, from contract fraud at the top government to bribery for admission, bribery for whatever to get to have access to anything at all, money laundering, embezzlement, and salary seizure. All of these encompasses corruption that has given Nigeria this unenviable global position as far as corruption is concerned. And what are the downsides of this corruption? Corruption costs the country billions of dollars annually. Monies that would have been used to better the lives of the citizenry, it's been embezzled by just a microscopic few who have access to state power. Let's hear from you. Do you think Nigeria is really fighting corruption? You can drop your views, and also do not forget to like, share, subscribe to Joe Research Blog on YouTube. You can also follow us on our WhatsApp channel, Instagram, TikTok, and just let's have your comment, and trust me, we'll respond to your comments.